Hello, it's me, and I thought I'd take a little break from stickering this Curvycopter 3 to do an unboxing. By the way, I hate stickering puzzles, just so you know. Anyway, this comes from Klaus Winiger, and he has an unusual 3D, well maybe not an unusual 3D printer, but a different kind of a 3D printer. He's a puzzle designer and creator. So let's see what we've got here. He's also a very good boxer. Alright, make an incision over here. Now let's see what we've got. Looks like we've got a couple of things here. Puzzles within puzzles, or lots of them. Alright, we've got this guy, and I've learned better than to try to pronounce some of these puzzles. But let me see if I can find my way to opening this. Alright, so what do we have here? This is, now this looks like another kind of a Rex cube. You can see the Rex pedals here. Turn, turn. So again, it's the same kind of appeal as a Praxis cube. It's a shape mod of a Rex cube. Let's see what this one is. Now this one's interesting. Get rid of this guy. This one is called the Wintergreen puzzle. Another kind of a shape modification. One thing about Klaus's puzzles is they're very big. There we go. Alright, so I kind of like this color scheme. It's the same kind of a concept. Once again, it's a shape mod of a Rex puzzle. But what's unusual about this is how similar the color scheme looks, and that's kind of what struck me about this puzzle. You have different shades of green. Shade here, shade here, shade here. So it promises to lend a little bit more of a challenge with that. But I think I've done about as many shape mods of Rex puzzles as I want, and I actually think this is called a kite puzzle. Kite puzzle. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and play around with this, scramble this up, and see what these are like. Thanks for watching. So I thought I'd come back and show you what these look like in a scrambled form. So I lubricated it, and allows it to move much better. So this one is an interesting one. I know it's a Rex puzzle, and I know that I got to solve it as such, but I'm running into some difficulties just in perspective of getting this one to the right area in terms of what goes here, here, here. So this would be a side over here. But I thought I'd show what it looks like more lubricated and scrambled, and I think this may be among the more difficult of the Rex modifications. So, oh, something is fitting in here. Now this one, I think, looks really interesting when it's scrambled, because it looks like almost impossible to solve. So anyway, you can see that it's moving very smooth, but I thought I'd scramble this guy up just to show you what it looks like. And has a very nice kind of artistic look to it. But the movement is much more smooth. You can hear that it has a kind of grainy sound, but that grainy sound doesn't really translate into problem solving. Hi there. What you doing, Jessie?
I'm playing a game.
You're playing a game. What game are you playing?
I'm playing Animal Jam.
Animal Jam. Oh. I usually like raspberry or strawberry jam. It's better on toast. Is that Evan? Alright, so you can see it almost looks like a Tiffany lamp, but this is scrambled pretty well. I think there's more that we can do. Now I'm curious to see when solving this if there's any parity that comes out with this, because there's a pretty good degree of specificity with these pieces. So there isn't any false equivocations or apparent parities that I think will happen with this. But I think it's going to be a nice little challenge. Now, of course, the difference is because this is kind of a rhombic shape to it, it does not shapeshift. Notice that I'm scrambling it, and the difference between the solved state and the scrambled state has nothing to do with the shape, but everything to do with its just with a color pattern. These are the same puzzles. This is all shapeshifted, where the colors aren't too easy to discern. And this one is scrambled up, and you just have to put the colors in. But what's impressive looking about this is to wonder how you can get all these pieces in a solved state. Now, again, I think the strategy doesn't change, but it has a very beautiful look to it even when scrambled. So, once again, Klaus has managed to marry art and science together with these fantastic puzzles. Also, just so you know, I finally finished stickering this, the Curvy Copter 3. I fully lubricated it so it's nice and loose and and turns nicely. So there that is. An interesting puzzle here. It's got extra pieces. It's got these middle pieces that I got to deal with, in addition to these overlapping, emerging out of these overlapping petals here too. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Hello, it's me, and I've just received another box. And what better to do with boxes than to
unbox?
Unbox, exactly. Thank you, Jessica, for the backup. So what do you guys think is in this?
I don't know.
You don't know? How can you know? So let's see what we've got. So let's see what's in this. So some kind of a puzzle. Somebody's already shocked just by the box. The box itself is shocking. All right, so this comes from Tony Fisher, and you know that I have a number of Tony Fisher's brilliant creations. What is this? He was one of the original. You can have this only if you know how to use it. Okay, so I see a whole lot of popping things. Yep, you can have that. As long as there's nothing in there. Okay, that was just a cushion.
There's nothing in there.
There's nothing in there. Okay, so here is what we have. Wow. So this is probably among the cooler puzzles. That I've ever gotten. There's Tony Fisher's. So this is a half dome cube. It's a 6x6 that's only half made. So you can see that this can move independently over here. A little bit of lining up has to happen. The movement is very smooth. But it's interesting that this is sort of like almost a skeleton. Okay, this moves across over here. So it's almost like a bandaged 3x3. Some of it is black, some of it's white. So I hear it can scramble in very interesting ways. So in an attempt to continue to find challenging puzzles, this one should be interesting. Now I think I can even move this independently. Yeah, there we go. I can move this independently over here to cause all kinds of issues with the scramble and get it back to its original conformation. So I'm just going to study this a little bit more, maybe do a scramble and see what comes of this. Anyway, interesting one to play with. Thanks for watching. So I wanted to describe this puzzle a little bit more, just in terms of the motion. I actually I've been fiddling around with this, but basically what this is, and I think I showed this before, is you can tell that there's black pieces underneath here. All of these pieces are black, and all the pieces up here are white, including all these individual pieces. And this actually moves like a, well, like a 2x2. So we can get those pieces in, but the complications occur with the black pieces overlapping. Now notice when I turn this whole top part here, it doesn't really seem to change what goes on in the middle here. However, when I just turn the bottom one, then what happens is, well, actually can't really tell because they're all black, but you can move these guys independently. So you see that this is white over here. When I move the bottom one, you can see that I've taken the bottom portion, I've taken this large part here and these smaller pieces here, and I've moved them across to join this over here. I'll move this back. If I move the middle one, then what happens is it's just this top one that moves. And of course if I move both, well, everything except the top one moves. So you can see we can get some interesting scrambles of the black inner pieces here. So it's almost like two puzzles in one of getting it back in this position. And once we put these back in, then we have to start sorting these out as well. I don't anticipate that it's going to cause a whole lot of problems in terms of new strategies. There is going to be some bandaging, but I think we probably have all the information that we need to solve this particular configuration. So my question is, what techniques would you use? Knowing how this moves, we can move just like this as long as everything's on the bottom, and then we move these things up maybe to the top, and they can move in this fashion here, and then you saw how these guys move as well. So my question is, what strategy do you think I should use? And I'll come back at that answer sometime later. Thanks for watching.